Hi there guys, welcome back to the next video in my Kanto Solo Run series, where I aim to solo the game with a Pokemon chosen by our randomizer wheel. Let's recap the rules and get straight back into it. First off, the wheel decides, which is 3 Pokemon, choose one of the 3 and we do the run with that Pokemon. Secondly, I can only use that Pokemon in battle, but I can catch utility Pokemon for HMs. Third, I can't heal in battle using items, but healing outside of battle is allowed, and moves like Recover and Rest also allowed. Fourth, I can use the Badge Boost glitch, because it's kind of unavoidable in Gen 1. Finally, I can use TMs and HMs. Now let's recap, let's get on with the video. Okay, now the rules are out the way, let's get on with the wheel. So we've had some really good first tier Pokemon this time. Weezing is a second tier evolution, that could be pretty interesting. Yeah, Poison type moves aren't very good in Gen 1, so it could be a good run. Graveler's next. Considering I've just done a Geodude run, I'm not too keen on doing that one today. Ooh, Porygon. Okay, we've chosen the one we want. We're going with Porygon. Okay, now we've chosen Porygon on the wheel, let's get started with the run. So let's chat a bit about what Porygon is. The virtual duck from Gen 1, normal type Pokemon, and actually has quite an interesting move pool. It's you know what? We're just going to go with Ben for the rival for this one, and let's go along because I think this is one of his one of the Pokemon he quite likes. So we'll go with Ben for the rival. I reckon Charizard's probably going to be one of the more difficult battles that it has towards the end of the game. So we'll go with Charizard as the main rival Pokemon. So let's talk about Porygon's moveset. It starts off with 3 moves. It gets Sharpen, which increases attack. It gets Tackle, standard early game move, and then it gets Conversion. Now, Conversion is the signature move for Porygon in Gen 1. And the way that it works is, basically, if you've got a different type of move, basically, it changes the user's type to one of its moves, which is interesting. It's annoying that it doesn't change it to, like, the opponent's type, because that would be absolutely power in Gen 1. Because if we change to a rock type, it means that Geodude would do barely much damage on us. Oh wait, it does. Okay, so the information I've got for conversion on my app here is different. That must be a later generation what it is. But in Gen 1, as it looks like, conversion changes the type of my Porygon to whatever it is I'm fighting against. So that's pretty interesting. This is the game changer for Brock. So I got up to level 16 because I needed that extra HP. So what I did was I used Conversion, changed myself to a rock type, then I used Sharpen to increase my attack, and that meant Tackle could do a hell of a lot of more damage. And it actually makes the Brock battle so easy. It makes it really, really easy. To the point where Geodude's doing 1 hit of damage per move, even though he set up all of his defense curls. Tackle is not doing much against Onix, but I did get a critical on that first one, so I've changed my type again to Rock because it was using Bide. I'm just going to use Tackle, see how much we do. It's used Bide again, so I'm just going to go for it, and we win. That's how quick it is, and I sped up this battle because it did kind of take a long time with just spamming here. Moving on to Cerulean, we're going to go against the rival first because I want to get a few more levels before we go against Misty. The Starmie is still very powerful, and we don't have anything that's exactly too bad against it, but using Conversion, it actually creates an interesting strategy, especially with Pidgeotto. So, considering Gust is a flying move, and I've changed my type to flying, oh well. I say that, I still used Gust in this instance. Let's try that again. I think if I didn't have wasted as much time, let's set up a few more Sharpens. We should do better. Annoyingly, we get hit by Sand Attack. But we're raising our attack, and if we just raise it up by 1, Tackle's doing a lot more damage and nearly does half. So, annoyingly we get hit by a second Sand Attack. We're at half health now. Abra's going to be a free hit, so we can start using Sharpen to get our attack as high as possible. And it means that when it comes to the Charmander and the Rattata next, we should have more enough to take them in 1 hit, when we actually hit, because we've been hit by 2 Sand Attacks. But going back to Porygon itself, I haven't actually talked about its base stats yet. In Gen 1, its base stat of HP is 65, 60 attack, 70 defense, 80 special and 40 speed, so that speed is always going to be a problem for us. So getting the defense and the special higher means we can tank more and hopefully get through this quicker. Because what we are, the main point of these runs is to see how quickly we can do this, and whether it's actually possible to solo run with a Pokemon. I've got a good feeling about Porygon. Even though it's a normal type move, its special is high, so that means it also gets a lot of special type coverage. So you can get Psychic, you can get Psybeam at level 23. Actually, coming back to this Misty fight, now we're into it. One of the great things about conversion this early on in the game, if we use conversion, we become a water type. That means that Misty is now not going to use any water type moves. So we can use Sharpen, get our attack as high as possible, and pretty much 1 or 2 shot the Staryu and Starmie. And I didn't realise how good conversion would be as a move, like in this type of a run. They can't use their most powerful attacks because we've changed to the same type and the AI thinks that's not going to be effective, so I'll have to use another move, which for them two was only Tackle, and we beat Misty first try because of that strategy. Moving on to the rival SSN, we have leveled up quite a bit. We have gone into this battle burned, so that means that Tackle won't do very much, but we have leveled up to get Psybeam. And because our special is quite high, it's going to 2-shot the Pidgeotto, it's going to 2-shot the Raticate, and coming on to the Kadabra, this is going to be a problem considering we've got reduced attack on our Tackle. So we're going to have to use Sharpen a little bit just to get the attack up a bit. Burn is still just taking away our HP. Psybeam's doing around about the same amount as Tackle. And we're on 26 HP going into the Charmeleon. So if he uses Ember, not great. It takes off 12, but a Psybeam critical just decimates him. And we're level 27 now. Honestly, we've got through to this point in the game so quickly. Probably about as quick as Clefairy at this rate. And Latent Surge, probably going to be about as easy. So I'm still burnt because what I'm doing here is I want to get back to Cerulean as quick as possible. So if you don't go to the Poké Center in Vermilion, if you use Dig outside, then that means it takes you straight back to Cerulean and you save some time, especially if you're doing a speed run. Annoyingly in this battle though, Voltorb does so much damage to us. It gets Sonic Boom off, it keeps using Tackle, uses Screech. We're not looking good against the Pikachu. Thankfully it goes for X speed. Burn hurts us, but we are going to lose this battle because we're not going to have enough HP left with the burn damage hitting us. And it's Raichu. So attack's going to fall, Psybeam's not doing much, and yeah, we are going to lose this one. And there we go. So I actually had to go and find an item to try and heal us here. And there's not many that will do that, but I managed to find Burn Heal. And once we got into this battle, I changed my type to Electric so that they wouldn't use likes of Thundershock and Thunderbolt on me. And that meant they would only really go for Tackle. So Raichu comes out. It does actually use Thunderbolt. Surge's AI might not be that good, but it means it's not doing anywhere near as much damage as what it should have been. And we confuse it with Psybeam, so we take it out quite comfortably. Tell you what, when it comes to Rock Tunnel, there isn't really that much to talk about. We've got Thunderbolt now, so the Slowpokes in Rock Tunnel were no problem whatsoever. So we move on to Celadon, we go and get Ice Beam from the girl on the roof. And we also go to Saffron and get Psychic, so we can replace Psybeam. And pretty much already, we've got a very similar moveset to what we had with Clefairy. We've got Thunderbolt, we've got Ice Beam, and we've got Psychic. The only difference we don't have is we don't have Minimize, so I'm going to have to try and figure out what I can do to Badge Boost Glitch to make this run quicker. And looking at the moveset for Porygon, level 35 it gets Agility, which is a great move to have. It does increase speed by 2 points, but our speed is our worst stat, so we do need better speed. But it only means that when it comes to badge boosting, we can increase by 12.5%, only 3 times. But that should be more than enough to get us through most of these battles. When I first saw Porygon come up, I was like, oh yes, this will be a great run to do. I don't think I realised how quickly Porygon could get through this game and how good it actually is. I feel it's a very underrated Gen 1 Pokemon. Because it's a normal type, when you're going against bug catchers, it doesn't have super effective damage done against it with Leech Life, or if you come up against Beedrill, it doesn't have Twin Needle doing super effective damage. And bug types are generally one of the weakest anyway, so Gen 1 especially, there's barely any moves for them to utilise. But even with us being a normal type, I feel like it makes the game a bit easier, considering there's not many fighting types, and the fighting type moves pool roster is honestly very mediocre. Like, Submission is quite a bad move. It does the recoil, it does have really good damage, but in terms of getting a Psychic off before it, usually the quicker Pokemon the Psychic or normal types than a fighting type. Going into Silphcore, we went straight from Lavender Tower to Silphcore. The Pidgeot did take off half our health, and now we've gone against Execute, we can Badge Boost Glitch and get our speed up. This is really going to help us for the later Pokemon, but we get poisoned, which is very annoying. So if we one-shot all the Pokemon, we actually don't take any poison damage, which we're starting to do. Alakazam comes out, we are definitely not going to one-shot this, I don't think. No, nowhere close. And he uses Confusion. We lost this battle. So we're going to have to get through this battle maybe at a later stage. I'm going to go against Erica first because I did miss her out in Celadon. But we'll soon see a few more levels attained, and then that rival battle in Silphcore should be a bit easier. Razor Leaf does do a massive amount of damage for the level it's at, but it does always critical hit, so that's why. I should have really used Ice Beam here, but I wanted to use just Psychic all the way through. I was trying to speedrun this bit a bit, so I was just mashing the A button. And pretty easy battle over and all. Because we're such a high level, we've got super effective moves, and they don't have anything super effective against us. So instead of going back to Silphcore, I actually went over to Koga. We've got Psychic, so we should do well against this Pokemon. I went in this battle not even at full health, but Psychic still doesn't take out Coughing at full health. So utilise a bit of agility, we can get that Badge Boost Glitch up. Psychic should now one-shot all the Pokemon, in theory. Whether that's actuality is a different matter though, because we get poisoned by the muck. We've got 2 Pokemon to go, and the Weezing knows self-destruct, so if we can't take it out in one, we're really leaving ourselves open to lose here. Can we take it out? No, it's not even half health, and it uses self-destruct. Great. Okay, so we head back over to Silphcore. I thought, you know, considering I wanted to do this part of the game and unlock more earlier on, so I can go straight from Fuchsia over to Cinnabar, I wanted to get this rival battle done. So we set up against the Pidgeot, it still doesn't take it out fully, but 2 Ice Beams take it out. Next up to Execute, it's going to be 2, we'll get 1 more agility up, and then we get Paralyzed, which is not what we wanted. We should have went for the Ice Beam straight away. I am not doing the strategy very well on this. Gyarados comes out, we know it's a one-hit KO with Thunderbolt, it's 4 times weak to it. Alakazam comes out, this was the problem last time. So what I actually hoped for was the frozen chance, and I get it this time. So with it being frozen, we can quite comfortably take it out, and last up is the Charizard. The only move that's really going to do massive amounts of damage against it is going to be Thunderbolt. Annoyingly, it starts using Rage, and we're on very low health. And when it hits a Pokemon with it's using Rage, its attack gets increased. So after so many turns of being paralyzed, Rage actually takes us out. I think it's the first time in a long time that the move Rage has actually beaten me, and I'm not happy about it. Not whatsoever. So let's give us one more try. Set up against the Pidgeot, choose Thunderbolt, see if we get Paralysis. We don't, but 2 Thunderbolts takes it out quite comfortably. Execute comes out, Ice Beam hits, and it's a one-shot KO. Level 41 now, so this is the reason why I haven't Badge Boost glitched yet. Because we've leveled up, that means the Badge Boost glitch's effect wouldn't actually help us here. So what we're going to do is try and freeze the Alakazam. We do get the freeze again. We are getting so lucky with these freezes recently. And that way we can set up the agilities. We're not even paralysed at this point. So the Charizard should be very easy now. I reckon probably 2 Thunderbolts are going to do it. Yeah, it's going to be 2. You use a slash and it does major damage. But Charizard goes down, we'll have 42. And we get the option to learn Tri-Attack. But I don't want it. I don't want it for this run. It might be good against the Alakazam later down the line, but with the moveset we've got so much coverage, it's not worth putting Tri-Attack on our move roster. So, in like 2 hours and 35 minutes, we've already got to Giovanni and Silphcore. We haven't beat Koga, Sabrina, or Blaine. So, in terms of trying to beat the likes of Gengar, I don't think we're going to be able to do it in half an hour. It usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes in-game time just to get through the Elite Four. We're not going to beat Gengar in this run. But Clefairy did it at 3 hours 44 minutes. So there's a chance that we can still catch up and beat Clefairy's time. So take in mind, this is actually, even getting to this point in the game, it's actually still a very, very quick run. Nidoqueen comes out. Psychic's going to be the major move we use against the poison types. And that's Giovanni done. Quite an easy battle. Didn't even go in at full health there. So now we're at level, 43? We actually don't have any more moves we can learn by a level up. But if we really wanted to, we could go grab Thunder, we could go grab TMs for Blizzard. I am not going to use Double Team on this run. I will not use it. They're the only 2 better moves that we could go and theoretically get. But they have lower accuracy, so honestly, Ice Beam and Thunderbolt for me are the better moves for me to keep. Yes, they don't do as much damage, but that amount, like just having lower accuracy, especially in Gen 1, is an absolute killer. Like, yeah, you might have 90% accuracy, but I can guarantee you'll miss about half the time because of that. Thankfully, when we come through to Blaine, we've frozen the Arcanine. He'll just keep using Super Potion, so what we're actually going to do is use Psychic and try and get the special drops. That means that Psychic's going to do more per damage per hit. Thankfully, he doesn't use any Super Potion, so we quite comfortably beat Blaine. So we've only got one more gym leader before Giovanni, and that's Sabrina. This seems to be quite typical on these runs, that Sabrina is the second from last gym leader I tackle. And for good reason. Psychic types are very overpowered in Gen 1. But going against Kadabra, I'm actually going to set up Badge Boost Glitch against that. And because of the special increase from Badge Boost Glitching, Psybeam's not going to do much damage whatsoever. Mr. Mime comes out. I'm going to use 2 Thunderbolts to take it down. It's kind of wasted a move by putting Byro because we're not using physical attacking moves. Venomoth comes up. I should have used Thunderbolt there, but Ice Beam takes that in 2, and we're poisoned, so now we're against the clock. Ice Beam, are we going to freeze? We've frozen it. That's the 3rd freeze so far this run. This Porygon is a beast. Okay, now we've beaten Sabrina first time. There's not many gym leaders we've gone against we haven't won first time. I think Brock and Misty, yeah, we haven't won first time. Everybody else, I know Koga we didn't beat first time, but everybody else we've beaten first time. Which is a good mark that this is going to be a good run. Against the Rhyhorn and against Giovanni, it can't do very much against us. So we're going to set up our agilities now. I have had a look at our experience points, so we shouldn't really level up in this battle. Ice Beam's going to take out the Rhyhorn, and we did level up. So actually, it must have been the next battle I was looking at that my experience points I was trying to calculate. But either way, we are still shredding his team here. Absolutely shredding it. The Nidoking doesn't go down with 1 hit, which is quite surprising. And last up is Rhydon. It's not going to outspeed us, so Ice Beam is going to be a 2-hit KO. Hornrill will miss. Hornrill and Fissure will always miss if you are slower than the other Pokemon. That's how it works in Gen 1. So that way it will never be a 1-hit KO. Same with Guillotine, I think it is. And now we've got all the badges, we can only go against the rival before the Elite Four. So we'll get a good idea here of how hard that Alakazam's going to be. in the final battle. So quick attack comes out first, but we're going to try and badge boost just once to get... Oh wow, it's done a lot of damage, but we take it out with a critical hit. That's good. Rhyhorn comes out, and we can set up the rest of the agilities here. Stomp is not the thing we want to see. It does a lot of damage. Ice Beam's going to hit, and I don't think we're going to survive against this Alakazam. Execute will be easy with Ice Beam, but Alakazam is going to be a nightmare. Thunderbolt is going to one-shot the Gyarados. We know that from before. And we level up. So we lose all that badge boost glitch. Please Ice Beam freeze. It doesn't. No. No. God damn it. Okay, let's try this again. I've manipulated my experience points this time. I shouldn't level up in this battle. So, we're going to try and take out the Pidgeot before we set up our agilities. It goes down, we haven't lost any HP, that's fantastic. Now we're going to set up the agilities. If we get hit by Tail Whip, that's actually really good for us as well, because it adds to that badge boost glitch. But we don't get hit by it, so Ice Beam the Rhyhorn down. Execute comes out, it's going to be another Ice Beam. Next up it'll be Gyarados, and again, Thunderbolt will take that out, it's 4 times weak to Thunder. And then the question is, do we beat the Alakazam? We should outspeed it now. So let's Ice Beam and try and freeze. We don't get the freeze. Psybeam does quite a bit of damage. And then Psychic hits. And we get Special Drop. That's not good. Thankfully, it uses Reflect, so we can take it out. But we haven't got much HP left for Charizard. If it hits us with Slash, that's a really big problem. It hits with Leer. We use Thunderbolt. It's going to be a free hit KO, and it uses Rage. This time, Rage does not work to his advantage. And we beat him at level 49. So, the only thing that's left, we've got the Elite Four. How do we do against the Elite Four? That's the question. Lorelei's up first, and we do have a super effective move in Thunderbolt. So Dewgong's going to come out. The normal type, so it's kind of random what move it's going to use, but I am just going to use Agility and see how we do. It's used Growl, that's perfect, we don't use any physical attacking moves. So let's use Thunderbolt. This should... Oh, it doesn't one-shot, but it does paralyze. And it is taking off quite a lot of HP now. We're near enough about half. Thunderbolt should one-shot the Cloyster. It does. Slowbro comes out. It's probably going to be a 2-hit. Cloyster is quite bulky. But it nearly takes it out in 1, which is not very... doesn't happen very often. We're going to Thunderbolt the Jinx as well, because out of all the moves we've got, it's best move to use. And Lapras, gotta make sure we don't get hit by Blizzard or Hydro Pump here. Oh, Hydro Pump. This is why we use Badge Boost Glitch. Hydro Pump should really, in theory, have taken us out in 1, but because of the Badge Boost Glitch, increasing our special and defense, we managed to survive it, and we take about 30 points of damage, which is fantastic. Next up is Bruno. And if you've watched any other video, any other solo run in Gen 1, you know that Bruno is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. How this guy is an Elite Four member is beyond me. We're going to set up agilities, and we are going to sweep. Ice Beam is going to take out the majority of his Pokemon. If not, it's going to be Psychic. I probably should have switched to Psychic there just to be sure. I do here against Hitmonlee. Next up is the Onix. Psychic's going to one-shot. Machamp comes out, it's going to one-shot. It doesn't one-shot after bad... Wow. That Machamp's a lot bulkier than I realised. That's really, really unusual. Okay, next up we have Agatha. And this one is... This Elite Four member usually creates a lot of problems, because she spams a lot of status moves. Which isn't great, but... We do have super effective moves against pretty much all the Pokemon. With the greatest bit of luck, she switches into Golbat. And he uses Confuse Ray, which isn't the worst thing. If we hit ourselves in confusion, that's what I didn't want to see. He used Haze on us. If you're not familiar with what Haze does, I mean, you should be. We're at Gen 9 of Pokemon now. Haze has been around for a long time. Haze resets all stat increases that have happened. So even with Badge Boost Glitch, it resets all of that, which means we have got good speed. We could Badge Boost Glitch now to increase our speed again, but I just wanted to go forward and see how well we did. We've got Haunter to take out, we do outspeed it naturally, and then using Nightshade. So way to beat this battle is to make sure that Gengar doesn't use Haze, and to make sure we don't get put to sleep. Confusion is not the worst thing in this battle. Nightshade is more deadly than getting confused. We level up right at the start, so now we can start Badge Boost glitching. I am going to try and take out this Golbat as quick as possible, but we do freeze it again. Another freeze. How lucky is this Porygon with the freezes? So now we've set up Badge Boost. We should sweep all of these. Saying that it took 2 hits for Haunter. I don't know why that took 2 hits. Especially when Arbok was a 1-hit KO. That's... Gen 1 is weird. Gen 1 really is weird, guys. But we quite comfortably take out the Gengar with full HP. We've only been poisoned, so we do need to use a full restore for that. But next up is Lance. We do have Ice Beam, so theoretically this could be quite easy. The first Pokemon up is Gyarados. And I'd say Lance's Gyarados is scarier than the champions. So I'm going to use Thunderbolt to start off with because he does it open with Hydro Pump. So now we've got Dragonair. We should start Badge Boost glitching against this. If he... Oh, Dragon Rage, that's not good. If he uses Hyper Beam, that's a problem. But we have set up our Badge Boost. Ice Beam can take him out in 1. Do we outspeed the Aerodactyl though? In the last few runs, even with Badge Boost, Aerodactyl's... No, we do outspeed. Aerodactyl is a very fast Pokemon. I'm very interested to do a run when it comes up. Do we one-shot Dragonite? We do. And we first try Lance with a Porygon. That just leaves one trainer left, which just leaves the champion. So, with our strategies, can we beat the champion? That's the question I want to know right now. So, let's get into the battle with the most powerful trainer in the world, apparently. Pidgeot comes out, and we're going to just spam Agility. I don't care if it's going to hit us, let's spam Agility. There we go, we've got it. We've got our free self. Let's Ice Beam. Can it take it out in 1? No, but it freezes. And then he uses full restore. What is the luck of that? It must have been arranged because that one did take it out. Do we get a freeze against the Alakazam? No, we don't. He uses recover, not the worst thing. And we get another freeze. What? 4 Ice Beams and we get 2 freezes? The luck on this Porygon is insane. Ice Beam the Rhydon, and it takes taken down. I think we've won this, guys. I think we've won this. Ice Beam the Executor. It's going to be a 2-hit KO. Its special is really high. Come on, come on. We've got Gyarados now. That'll go down to a Thunderbolt. It doesn't go down. Wow, how did it survive that? Okay, last Pokemon. Can we beat this Charizard? Fire Spit. No, please don't. No, 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 no. Please don't blame me. Don't blame it. Come on, yes. Yes. Porygon wins. That was hard work. That was hard work and a lot of luck to get past that Alakazam. As if we got 2 freezes in one battle. That's great. This is why I love Gen 1. Oh, right. So now the important question. What level and what time did we finish the game on with Porygon? I think the level that I saw was level 60. We have got level 60, but what is the time? Have we beaten Clefairy? We did! We beat Clefairy at 3 hours 23. 20 minutes faster. Get in. Not as quick as Gengar, but that was a good run. That was a very, very good run. Oh, I enjoyed playing as Porygon very, very much there. Right, guys. As per usual, please like, subscribe, share, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps out and I really do appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the video on the next time. If you are subscribing, please make sure that your privacy is set so I can see who subscribes. That way I can put you as the rival for the next videos. Have a great day, everyone, and take care.